Yeah, I spent $2,000 a month on AI tools. But luckily, you don't have to, because after hundreds of hours of testing, I can confidently tell you which AI tools are the best for coding, automation, context engineering, and so much more. And no, it's not ChatGPT. Starting with Ollama. This is perhaps the easiest way to run local AI models, whether it's DeepSeek, Gemma, Qwen. You literally just open your terminal, Ollama, run Gemma 327B. Boom. And actually, I've used this on a plane, but the power of using local LLMs is that, number one, completely private. Number two, it's open source, so you can fine-tune these models. And number three, you can use them offline. Now, if you don't like the terminal, there's tools like Anything LLM, where you can chat with these models in a nice UI, just like you would inside of ChatGPT. So local models are absolutely a thing, and you should absolutely be using them. And this is even possible on your phone. There are apps like Apollo, where you can select an AI model, such as DeepSeek R1 Distilled, Llama 3.2, Qwen 2.5, among many other AI models. The fact that you can run open source AI models on your phone is pretty damn amazing. However, we're just getting started. Later in the video, I'll show you which AI tools are the best for coding and context engineering. And in terms of costs, these are some of the cheapest tools on the list, because Ollama is free, same with Anything LLM, and Apollo is one-time $6 payment. The next category is voice AI tools. So on my computer, I use Super Whisper, which easily allows you to switch between different modes. But my favorite feature is the vocabulary, where you can add custom words that you say often, such as Vectal. And of course, Super Whisper lets you set any keyboard shortcut, so I use Option Tab. Now, in terms of costs, Super Whisper is costing me $8.50 a month, which is nothing compared to tools later in the list. Another great voice tool that all of you should use is ChatGPT Voice. And by the way, on the mobile app, you can also click this button right here, Share Video. And this is great when you're in a foreign country. Right now in Morocco, a lot of it is in either Arabic or French, which, you know, moi français est non bien. I need to translate it. So this video tool with ChatGPT Voice is really OP. However, I'm paying for the ChatGPT Pro subscription, which is $200 a month. And the reason for that is going to be obvious later in the video. The next category is context engineering. And for this, I use Repo prompt, which looks like this. So what it allows you to do is open a folder, and it allows you to easily craft your context, right? So for example, in the backend, I want to load up all of my AI agents. So I just select the entire folder, boom, it loads up all of the files, and I can add, help me understand how we structure our AI agents. Then the next step is I can copy the prompt right here. And this is especially useful with tools like O3 Pro. And then I can paste in the entire prompt, boom, look how long this is, right? And it's structured with XML tags wrap. But what's even better is that if you don't know which files to select, in the context builder, you can select a model such as Claude for Thinking, and you can have it AI generate which files should go into the context based on the prompt, right? And there it is. It took like 20 seconds, and now it selected these 12 files. And yeah, Repo prompt just makes context engineering stupidly easy. In terms of pricing, Repo prompt is costing me $15 a month. Now, Repo prompt is cool, but there is one AI tool which I forced everyone on my team to use, but more on that later. The next category is productivity, and here, of course, I use Vectal. And not only because I built it, but because there's simply nothing better. Let me show you. So on the left, you have projects. So let's say I go into my front-end project, I open it up, and you can see I have a custom system prompt optimized for front-end web development, which means that anytime I have this project open and I'm chatting with Vectal Agent, it knows that right now I'm working on front-end, and it optimizes for that. Another great thing about Vectal is these one-click AI features. For example, for ideas, we have idea cleanup. This feature saves me time every single day, and all of that time saved just compounds. People who use Vectal clearly love it. Now, let me just show you a few reviews on screen as I'm saying it. Our users love the product. So if you still aren't using Vectal, just go to vectal.ai. You can get started completely for free. The next category is automation. So first off, obviously, I use N8N, and as you can see, we have a lot of different workflows inside of N8N. Let me just show you the latest one, right? So this one tracks my work ethic. So this runs once a day, checks my Google Calendar, goes through all the events. By the way, I track my time every 15 minutes. It's actually super easy once you get into the habit. Like the first 2 weeks are hard, then it's just second nature. Then it parses that data, filters it down, goes into AI agent. Super simple N8N automation, but something like this is saving me time every single day. Now, you might be thinking, but David, how do I choose what to automate? So first off, look at the low leverage / repetitive tasks you're doing, like checking your email or collecting invoices. And if you have a team, you should absolutely ask them, what are the most repetitive tasks in your Vectal task list, right? Now, in terms of costs, I actually don't use the N8N Cloud. I use Hostinger, which is super cheap for like $5 a month. So yeah, N8N is actually one of the cheapest tools in my AI stack. Another AI automation tool that I use is actually Lindy. So this is basically N8N, but a lot simpler. The reason for that is that Lindy comes with hundreds of pre-built templates that you can literally copy-paste into your life and business. In terms of pricing, Lindy goes for $50 a month, which, if you think that's expensive, you have no idea what's coming. The next category of AI tools is web search. So obviously the GOAT is Perplexity. This is perhaps the fastest and most thorough way to browse the web. So you can say, what is the NVIDIA stock at now? And it will check 10 to 20, oh, that was so fast, amazing. So it will check 10 to 20 sources within a matter of a few seconds, and it will give you an accurate answer. This is much better than ChatGPT, the default search, which only checks like 3 to 5 sources, and infinitely better than using Google. Another great Perplexity feature is the deep research right here. This will check between 50 and 100 different sources. Now it usually takes like 30, 60 seconds to run, but it's a much deeper version of a research, and it's much faster than the ChatGPT deep research, which takes like 10 to 15 minutes. This one takes like 1 minute usually. Now this is interesting. In terms of costs, I'm actually paying for the Pro plan, which is just $20 a month. There's also the Max plan, but honestly, I never hit the limits, so just stick with the Pro plan. Now the next category is actually personal questions, right? This could be life advice, health, fitness. Now for this, I use GPT 4.5 because it has really deep world knowledge. So while this model is not as powerful as O3 Pro or Claude for Opus, it is by far the most human model. So what I do is I just switch Vectal to chat and I select GPT 4.5, use it as somebody to bounce ideas back and forth. And there are no real benchmarks that show it. It's purely the vibes. Now, a big reason for this is that GPT 4.5 is estimated to have around 12 trillion parameters, which makes it significantly larger than all the other AI models out there. And as Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, said, GPT 4.5 is really appreciated by the high-taste testers. Now, in terms of costs, this is where it starts to get crazy. 1 million input tokens costs $75 and 1 million output tokens costs a whopping $150. Just to put this into perspective, Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is another excellent model, costs roughly $1.25 for a million input tokens and $10 for a million output tokens. Yeah, you can see the difference. Another AI tool which I use in the personal category is Claude, Claude.ai, especially with the new Claude 4 models, such as Opus 4 or Sonnet 4. These are really great because if you're like, need to write a quick email or something, most people do not recognize it's been written by AI. Why? Because at this point, it's been like, 2.5 years since ChatGPT released. A lot of people can recognize the GPT writing style of text. However, a lot of people still cannot recognize the type of text, the type of wording that Claude models use. So this makes it really good for, copywriting, writing emails, responding, stuff like that. However, and this is a big however, Claude is one of the most biased models out there. So it's very, very bad when it comes to controversial topics or anything even remotely politically incorrect. For that, either use Grok 3 or GPT 4.5 because Claude is just like insanely woke. In terms of pricing, Claude.ai can either go for $20 a month to get access to the Claude 4 models, or, of course, you know me, I'm paying for the Max plan, but actually, this is not the Max plan. The full Max plan costs $200 a month. And the difference is that the $100 a month plan gives you 5x the limits, but the $200 a month plan gives you 20x the limits, which is going to be very, very important when we get to Claude Code. Now, this is what a lot of you have been waiting for, the coding category. So, of course, first I use Cursor for many different reasons, right? The Cursor agent is great. You can chat with it. Now, with the latest update, you can also queue messages. It has indexed your entire code base. It's a great IDE, right? You need a development environment. If you're serious, if you're building an AI startup like myself, you need an IDE to use. And Cursor is built on top of VS Code, which means it has all of the great features that VS Code has, plus all of the cutting-edge AI features, such as the background agents, right? This is a new feature, relatively new. Like, they've been testing it internally for months, but like it has been out for around a month. And basically, this is like their version of Codex, which we'll get to in a bit. This is great, right? Because you can use any model right here. So obviously the issue with like Codex, you can only use OpenAI models. Issue with Claude Code, you can only use Anthropic models. Issue with Gemini, you can only use Google models. But with Cursor background agents, you can use O3 Pro, Claude for Opus, O3, Gemini, whatever model you want. It's up to you, right? And it's fully asynchronous. So you can literally pull this up on your phone and launch these asynchronous cloud-based AI agents from the comfort of your phone. This is kind of crazy. You can work on your repository from a smartphone. Like, guys, 2025 is only halfway through, and I already feel like we're living in the future. Another amazing thing about Cursor is the bug bot. So a lot of you actually are not aware of this, but if you do pull requests, the bug bot will automatically run, or if you type in bug bot run, it will be triggered, and it will spot bugs in your code, right? Now, it is hit or miss. Roughly 50% of the time, it will suggest something that's not even worth fixing or something that isn't even a bug. But in the other 50% of the times, it will actually spot bugs that are useful. So in this case, I thumbs it down. But I'm telling you, like half of the time, it actually spots a real bug that we should fix. And in that case, it really makes you feel like, wow, if it wasn't for a simple feature, which by the way runs automatically on all of your pull requests, I would have had a bug in our code base that either I would have to find or some users would have to find. Yeah, the bug bot is really amazing. Now, in terms of pricing, Cursor, luckily I have unlimited Cursor. Shout out to the Cursor team. Thanks for hooking me up. But with the way I use Cursor, I definitely have to put it $200 a month because, yeah, I use Cursor all day, every day, and there is no way the $20 a month plan would suit me. Actually, before, on the old pricing, I was on the maxed out $100 a month plan, and as I was about to max that out as well. So yeah, Cursor, if I didn't have unlimited, I would definitely be paying $200 a month for the ultra plan, and I would be paying that very, very happily. Another amazing AI tool in the coding category is, of course, Codex. This is the most advanced autonomous cloud-based AI agent, obviously made by OpenAI, and the amazing thing that you can run 4 different versions, right? None of the other AI agents have this. You can literally send a prompt and have Codex generate 4 different versions of the implementation, which is definitely losing OpenAI millions of dollars, like per month, easily. But I think they're just doing it to adopt the usage. And actually, on screen, I will show statistics from a previous video. Codex right now has the highest pull request acceptance rate, which means basically it's the best, most reliable coding agent out there. Now, the way to use Codex is to just spam it with everything. Any small idea that you have that you want to implement, something that you want to tweak about your code, small UI change you want to do, bug fix, anything, just send it to Codex and let it do it. Sometimes it will fail, but a lot of the times it will do like 80 to 90%. And then all you have to do is merge the pull request, jump into Cursor, and finish the last 10% yourself. Codex has really changed the game. It is the first autonomous asynchronous AI agent out there. And if you aren't using it, you're falling behind. And actually, this is the feature that I mentioned earlier in the video where I said that I forced everyone on my team to use it. And I actually did that in a very simple way. I just upgraded to ChatGPT Teams on top of already paying for ChatGPT Pro. So I have ChatGPT Teams for 9 people right now, which is $270 a month, plus $200 a month for ChatGPT Pro, which is like $470 just to OpenAI. And we're not even talking about API cost, by the way. But this gives everyone on my team access to Codex. And the best part is, right now, I don't think there are any limits. Or at least the limits are so high that you're not gonna hit them, which is just crazy. And I really don't think OpenAI is gonna keep it like this forever. So if you don't have Codex, if you're not using it for some reason, lock in, because right now the opportunity is kind of crazy. You can literally send it dozens of tasks per day and massively, massively boost your coding productivity. Which, by the way, I've made an entire training for in the New Society. So when you go into the classroom, we have this Code with AI training, which goes step by step through how to use Codex and Claude Code, which will teach you step by step how to use Codex, how to set it up, the GitHub fundamentals you have to understand, my own Codex workflow, the different variations, the 4x versions, and how to do pull request review, how to give Codex internet access, and so much more. So if you really want to understand how me and my team use Codex to massively boost our productivity, which allows us to ship new features literally every day, then make sure to join the New Society. It's going to be the first link below the video. Another expense in the coding category is API costs. So on OpenRouter alone, I spent over $1,000 a month. I also spent significant amounts on Anthropic API and OpenAI API. For example, if you want to use the Claude GitHub action to have Claude review your pull requests, just like the Cursor bug bot, right? For example, here, Claude reviewed my task even more in detail than the bug bot, which sometimes can be annoying, but you can customize the system prompt, by the way. And this, again, is automatic. So Claude, you can have Claude code run automatically on all of your pull requests to spot bugs, to rate them. This is very thorough review. Look at this. This is like, wow. It's pretty impressive, right? But this alone, having the Claude GitHub action, is costing me like $100 to $150 a month through the Anthropic API. So yeah, API costs are perhaps the biggest expense on my AI stack, and I only expect it to grow. And last, but definitely not least, is Claude Code. And this is the AI tool that, as I said, if I was completely broke, I would still be paying for, because it's worth its weight in gold, or its weight in API tokens, however you want to put it. Basically, all you need to do is type in this command into your terminal, and then every morning I just wake up and type Claude update to make sure I have the latest and greatest version of Claude Code. Then I jump into cursor and my workflow literally looks like this. Left side of the screen, Claude Code, and right side of the screen, second Claude Code. Usually one of them is on plan mode and one of them is on auto accept mode. But yeah, this is how I work. Claude Code is amazing, and it is right now the best AI agent for productivity, because the issue with these asynchronous ones is that they encourage multitasking, right? And the use case is very different. You just give all your tasks to Codex or Cursor background agents, and then you focus on one with Claude Code and you really make it right. Now let me give you a little sneak peek of how I might use Claude Code in my typical day-to-day. So I'm gonna say run git pull just to make sure we have the latest version of my branch. And then I'm gonna say, let's reset this branch to fully match dev. Okay, yes, so this is a risky command, so I need to approve it, yes. So basically it's gonna fetch the latest state of the dev branch and then reset my David branch to match dev, and I'm gonna need to do force push. Now tell me, I already know how to do this, but for the sake of this video, I'm gonna show you how you can use Claude Code to build software even when you're not a professional developer. So now tell me how to do a force push to GitHub. So I'm going to open the terminal to do this. Now, I disable this command because it's risky, so this one, Claude Code, cannot run. And by the way, if you want to know how to do all of that, this is also available in the New Society alongside the Ultimate Codex Guide. I released the Claude Code Mastery Workshop, which will take you step by step from a complete beginner to someone who can save dozens of hours per week with Claude Code. I mean, this tool is crazy. It can literally 10x your programming speed, and I'm not saying that lightly. So again, this is available in the New Society, click the link below. But let's jump back into Claude Code and let's reset my branch, boom. So now we're gonna force push it to GitHub, and I can do /clear. This is one of the most common commands to clear the context window. I'll say, now help me update the UI of the projects model. Make it look more like the new idea creation model. Do not change anything else, just improve the UI, okay? When you click on a project, right, for example, this front-end, boom, and you wanna adjust the model right here, I would like to improve this UI. I mean, it's pretty decent, it's not bad, but we can make it look better. So let's see. Claude Code. Now, I can have a second one. I can say, how can we improve the design of, and I'm gonna say projects model, maybe project creation model. Project creation model, yeah, there it is. Give me 5 concrete, actually, why am I typing this manually? Let's just use Super Whisper. Give me 5 concrete suggestions like a world-class front-end engineer would. Answer in short. Do not do anything yet. Okay, boom, so I have my second Claude Code running. So this one I'm gonna be consulting with, and this one is implementing. So let's see what the left one did. 7 tool uses, 26,000 tokens already. This is why Claude Code is expensive. Anyways, this one already responded. Extract form fields components. Okay, move color pickle to separate component. I was asking how to make the UI UX look better, not how to refactor it. Answer in short. Okay, on the left one actually started cooking. So it found the idea creation model. Okay, it found the file, and notice that I didn't even tell it the files. I didn't even tag right here. I just mentioned which model, and by itself it analyzed the entire code base. It found the right file which I was referencing, bunch of reasoning, bunch of thinking later, bunch of analyzing other files. Then it found the projects model, and now it's refactoring the UI to look more like the projects model. Okay, so obviously this is still work in progress. Let's see if it fixes that. This doesn't look the best because there's no padding. I'll update the form styling and layout to match the cleaner style. And by the way, it's been running for 133 seconds. Now, the real way to use Claude Code is for these like quick updates. Because if you're tweaking UI, you can literally do 5 different tweaks per minute, which you absolutely cannot do with, Codex or other asynchronous agent. Claude Code just allows you to work and test and experiment so incredibly fast, it should honestly be illegal. So you can see, as this Claude Code is generating thousands of tokens, this one is telling me what to update. We could add focus states, we could improve the spacing, loading skeleton, better color picker, enhance button states. Okay, so let's see. Okay, already wow, the model has been improved, definitely better than the previous version. Bigger colors, nice switching animation. Look at this. This is nicer. This is expandable now. Nice, that's good UI. Not bad at all, man. Not bad at all. So yeah, this is the power of Claude Code. Unfortunately, this is also one of the most expensive tools on my list. As I said earlier, I pay Claude Max, the Max plan, which is $200 a month. And I also have purchased it for 2 of my other developers. So I'm paying $600 a month for the Claude Code plans. But The rest of my team has my API key, my Anthropic API key. So inside of Claude Code, you can actually do /logout to sign in either through an API key or through your Claude account. So for those people who are not consuming $200 a month in tokens, I just gave them my API key. So yeah, right now I'm spending easily like $700 to $900 a month just on Claude Code alone. So when I say that this AI agent can make you 10 times more productive, you better believe it, because otherwise I wouldn't have been spending so much money on it like I'm spending now. Oh, and a quick tip, if you want to save money on Claude Code, just type in model and switch to Sonnet, because Opus is significantly more expensive. So if you stick to Sonnet, hopefully you won't have to pay as much as I do, but still, Claude Code can get real expensive real fast. But as I said before, this AI tool I would pay for even if I was homeless, because it unlocks so much productivity and so much potential, it's actually crazy. So again, if you want to dive deeper into Claude Code, I made an entire step-by-step workshop in the New Society, which by the way includes my claude.md file, plus the settings.local.json file with the allowed commands that Claude Code can automatically execute, plus the commands that it's prohibited from running. So if you're just gonna take these resources and copy-paste them into your own workflow, just take them. All of it is available in the New Society, which is gonna be linked below the video. With that being said, thank you guys for watching and have a wonderful, productive week. See ya.